crocheter and just lover of making things. And today I have a collection of objects that I've finished, things that I'm working on, things that I just want to show you. I haven't made a podcast video in a little while. Last year I said my goal for this year was to make more videos and be more consistent, and I failed. So maybe that's my goal for next year. But before the year ends, I just really wanted to show you the things I've worked on the last few months and just get ready for next year. Today is the most gorgeous snowy day. Yesterday I had my big school-wide Christmas concert, so it was really fun. In the morning, I got there, we got ready, and then I had each grade level come, and each grade level did a whole performance, 3 or 4 songs. It was super cute. They did such a good job. I was feeling very pleased. And my school, so sweet. They got me flowers. I'll put a picture in here. But then right as we were getting ready to go, it started snowing hard, and it snowed all day until 10 p.m. So Cincinnati is pretty snowy right now. It's very cold. I think this morning it got down to 3 or 4 degrees. So I have not been outside. I'm inside with my wool sweater and my coffee. And I just thought this is the perfect weather to do a cozy little knitting podcast video. So let's get started. Oh, and then of course we have mochi here, but it's bath time. So if you hear any mochi sounds, that's where that's coming from. So I was going to start with what I'm wearing. I've talked about this before. This is my book club cardigan. It is by Sari Nordland, and I made it in Cascade 220. Color was Doeskin Heather. I really like this cardigan. I wear it a lot. I think the color is super pretty. I love the cables. I'll show you a little bit closer up. And it's got little pockets. I don't ever put anything in the pockets. They're just pretty small. I could put my phone in it, but I just don't. I think it's more just for the aesthetic. I do wish I had made this one size bigger. This is my size, and I think it fits like it's supposed to. I just think it'd be nicer if I had made one size up and it was more oversized. I think it would just be more the vibe that I was looking for, and also just slightly more comfortable. It's not uncomfortable, but it hits right at my top of my these are kind of high-waisted. This is my hip bone. Down here. So I wish that it just went to my hip bone. So another inch would be nice. It's almost, it's not cropped. I just wish I made it longer. I made this right when I was kind of getting out of my phase where I made everything too short just because I wanted to get done faster. So I just wish that I had made this longer. I can't really go back and make it longer though because of the double knit button band, and I don't want to have to undo the whole button band just to add an inch. So I've just accepted it. What I might try to do though is at some point soon wash it and block it more aggressively, because the last time I blocked it, or the only time I blocked it, that was the first time I blocked anything. And so I think I could go a little harder. And now that I've learned what I can do with blocking, I think if I blocked this a little bit harder, maybe it would grow. Maybe not, I don't know, I might try. But now let's get into the things that I've finished recently. This is crazy. I made a project vlog about this, so you can go back and watch it, but this is my Sirena sweater. I love this sweater. It's so nice. So the pattern is the Sirena Sweater by Cookie the Knitter. The yarn I used is Simply Wool by Knit Picks. That's an undyed, untreated 100% wool, and I think overall it came out so nice. The pattern calls for, I think, 1 strand of worsted weight and 1 strand of mohair, but I just used an Aran weight, single strand Aran weight yarn. I don't think it was technically would meet Aran weight gauge, but it was close enough. This came out super nice. It's a little bit bigger than I thought it would be. I'm not complaining because it's very cute. But the neckline has grown, and so I think I need to put a piece of elastic in the folded neckband, and that would just bring it in a little bit more. It's not bad. I just think it would look a little bit more chic and put together if it was just slightly more up. It's just stretching out a little bit, but still really cute. I love this color. I think it is so nice, the slightly off-white. and I made it a little bit too long on the sleeves, but I like the way it looks when they're rolled up. And you can see that in the project vlog I just made and posted like 2 weeks ago. I really like this design. I think it looks so good. My problem with the pattern was that it was like slightly too wordy in a way that I think made it more confusing. So I don't know if the problem is me, like, because this is only the second cable knit I've made. I've made this and I've made the Sirena sweater. So I don't know if maybe like I'm just not used to cable knit sweaters. And I've knit, like, this is the first one I've made that's like in the round, because since this is a cardigan, it was flat, which I think made it kind of easy. And it, like, I think it'd be hard regardless doing cables on the wrong side and doing short rows while you are cabling. I think that was hard. But I think sometimes the way it was described made it harder. There's one section in particular, I can't remember exactly what it said, but it wanted you to take some stitches across to the other needle, and I just remember the way it was written made me feel like my brain was exploding when really it was not that hard. I don't know, and that might just be me. Like, please don't think that it's a pattern problem. It's probably just me. But if anyone else has made that and you want to chat about it, I'd love to hear your thoughts. I think it was worth it, obviously, because I'm like obsessed with this sweater. I think it is like the cutest thing ever. It looks so nice and like professional. Like, I did a really good job, but also like it just looks really nice. And so everyone I've showed it to has loved it. It feels so comfortable. I thought it might be itchy, but it is not. It's like the perfect like woolly wool, and it just keeps you warm, and it's squishy. It's pilling a little, but I think that's because it's soft. It's going to pill. Like, I've accepted that because I don't really like scratchy wool. So I like a, you know, a woolly wool, but when it's kind of soft, so it's gonna pill. This is the exact same. Like, I just took some off the other day, and it's already got like tons here. And then every sweater I have, I try to be very mindful when I'm at school, since I'm a teacher, I have a lanyard with like a billion keys, and it just like rubs here, so that ends up pilling a little bit. So I just try to be careful. But I feel like that's just part of wearing clothes, especially like sweaters. So I'm fine with it. But overall, I'm super pleased with this sweater. I think it was a really good project. I finished it right at the perfect time. I finished it right before like winter hit, so now it's like the perfect thing to wear. I am very pleased. The only thing I don't like about it is the neckline, and I'm probably just gonna put elastic in it, and I think that'll fix that. If you want to see more, go to my project vlog. I think I talk about more details there. Yeah, let me know what you think. But that's my Serena sweater. The other thing, like big thing that I finished recently is my Maggie cardigan by Petite Knit. So here it is, and I'm calling it finished. It doesn't have buttons yet, but it's been, you know, washed and blocked. Everything is finished except for the buttons, so I'm gonna call it finished. And the reason I haven't put buttons on it yet, I had some in mind that like I just have laying around. I held them up to it. I put it on my story, and most people agreed with me that they just didn't look right. So I didn't sew them on. I'm looking for other ones, but I'm not looking super hard because I don't love this sweater. It's so itchy. It feels really soft, like in my hand. It's very like soft and silky because the yarn is Riley by Haiku, which is like alpaca and wool and, or no, alpaca and silk and linen. And so in my hands, it feels super nice. It looks really pretty. I love the details. You know, overall, it's like a beautiful like piece, but it's so itchy. It's crazy, especially like, cause I'm gonna wear a t-shirt under it. But like the arms just go like right past where my t-shirt ends, and this part makes me like miserable. I cannot handle it. And so part of me is like, well, maybe I can just get a t-shirt that's like the exact right length. And I probably will because I want to wear this because it's so pretty, but it cannot touch my skin. I cannot handle it. The pattern though, I really like. So I'll talk about that later, but this turned out super nice. I did a really good job on like all the little like details. I think it looks very crisp. And when I blocked it, like the fabric is just like so drapey and light. It's very nice. I wish I could let you feel it. It's wrinkly now because I've had it in the closet for a little while, just because I'm not wearing it. One thing about the fit, it is slightly tighter than I thought it would be, just based on like my size that I chose to make, which I think was size 3. Let me see. Yeah, so I made size 3, which is my suggested size. And it just is slightly under gauge, which didn't seem like that big a deal, but I think maybe it made like the tiniest difference, and it's just a little too small. It fits. I just thought maybe it'd be a little bit bigger, but it looks nice. So 2 things I did on this that like weren't my best. I have a little bit of rowing out that I feel like was more noticeable before I washed and blocked it. I don't think you can really see it on the body too much. You can really see it on the ribbing. It just doesn't look super nice. Blocking definitely helped, but it still is visible on the ribbing. I don't really care about that. And the yarn wasn't super like uniform all the way throughout. Like there were some thick and thin pieces, but I don't think that's what the ribbing, like I don't think that's what caused this look. I think it is the rowing out, because I had the rowing out more on the body too before I blocked it. And then the other thing that I wish I had done better is picking up stitches for the button band. It looks fine now because I blocked it really hard. I did some like pretty aggressive blocking to fix it, but on the button band, I should have picked up more stitches. I went with the suggested like rate of picking up stitches, but then when I was done, it was like not enough at all. So I must have messed up somewhere along the way, and it made it curl in like this. So I just went ahead with it because I'm stubborn and I wanted to be done, and I was so sick of this itchy yarn. So I just went ahead and finished the way I had on one side. I did it on the other side, and then I did the neckband, and it was just like really scrunched up. So I blocked it really, really hard to stretch it. And I think like now the fit of it is fine. Like it's pretty straight, but I do think it looks kind of stretched. I think it would look a little nicer if it was a little more, if there were more stitches on there, just to make it look a little more even. And like the ribbing, I think looks pretty good. I think if it looked a little bit more like that on the button band instead of as stretched out as it is, I think that would look a little bit nicer. But here is the button band up close. It's fine. I'm really not worried about it because I'm not obsessed with it with the sweater anyway. So I'd be a little bit more upset about it if everything else was like perfect and I loved the way it felt, but I do not. So overall, I really like this pattern. I wish I loved this sweater. I'm gonna just experiment and see if I can find a t-shirt that, you know, is like the right length on the sleeves, or like maybe even find a t-shirt that's longer, cut it, sew it, I don't know. I also could try like, you know, washing and blocking this again, but I don't think that's gonna help me. I think it's just like the yarn, like the alpaca. I think I'm pretty sensitive to alpaca, so that makes me itch. And then I think the pieces of linen that are poking out are like scratching me. So I think it's just like a terrible combination for myself. It is really lovely yarn. Like it's so nice and it's smooth. And if you're not sensitive, I would definitely suggest it. I am incredibly sensitive, so not my thing, but nice pattern. I'll give you a hint. I am making a new one in a different yarn and I like it a lot more. So I would suggest that pattern just with a different yarn if you're sensitive. If you also have any suggestions for buttons that you think would look nice on that, please let me know. I think what I would really like is a button that's like the exact same color. I think that'd look cute, but I am really not gonna put a bunch of energy and effort into finding that if I'm probably not gonna wear this that much, so I don't really know. But I also meant to show you, look at these little gingerbread man earrings. Is this not so cute? I got these from my friend Nicole in South Carolina last Christmas, or maybe the year before, I don't know, but they're so cute. I just think they're like perfect for Christmas. They're like so subtle and cute, and they go with everything, and like especially this outfit, it's like the exact same like colors. Like I've got the white and the brown. It's so cute. Christmas. I wore these like Christmas tree earrings yesterday for the concert, and I took them out and it like on my ear, and then I looked at the like post and there was a huge like piece of metal like sticking off of it that scratched me. It hurt so bad. But anyway, The next thing I finished these I think a long time ago, and I just like right after my last video. So these are the socks that I was making for Robbie. They're just like some simple vanilla socks. I got like a sock calculator on the internet and used it to make these fit him because he's really tall, so he has really long feet, but he's also like naturally pretty skinny, so he has narrow feet. So I had trouble finding something that would like fit him because his shoe size is 14, but to make these fit like his ankle and like his foot like width, I ended up doing a size 11, and then I just made them the length that he needed. And they look, I really like the colors. I need to show you that there's this one spot, like these little orange bits. I love that. He has not worn them because he's afraid of getting holes in them, which I get because he gets holes in his socks like crazy. I don't know what he does. So he ended up getting like some darn tough socks. And he has not worn holes in those, but he's afraid to get holes in these. I told him not to worry about it, but I can see why he's like worried about it. I think I suggested to him just like wearing them around the house and not with like shoes, but we'll see. I think a sweater would maybe be like a better gift knit for him, just because that'd be something he can wear without being like nervous about worrying about holes. And I don't know, I think he'd get more utility out of like a sweater. And he's definitely like worth making a sweater for, so that's not the question. I just, you know, like he wears scrubs every day to work, and then any other time that he's not working, he's wearing gym clothes. So I'm like, would he even want to wear a sweater? Probably, just because I'd make it. But I don't know. I'll think about it. I also, I've made him some hats before, and actually a few weeks ago, we were at the turkey trot, and he wore a hat I made for him that was like Jaguar's color. So like blue, black, and gold, and he got sweaty in it, so he was like, can I put this in the wash? And I was like, yeah, of course, it's all acrylic yarn, throw it right in the wash. And I forgot, because I didn't look at it, I forgot that it had a pom-pom on it. And so it gets out of the wash and the dryer, and the pom-pom has exploded all over all of our stuff. We are still finding like yellow fuzz on everything. It's kind of crazy, kind of sad, because I liked that pom-pom. But I was just not using my brain when I said to wash it. The hat is fine. It's just now it doesn't have a pom-pom. And there's a tiny hole where the pom-pom was. So I might make a new pom-pom. I might just leave it and like sew up the top. But RIP to the Jags hat I made 2 years ago. It was one of the first things I knitted. I think this is my last like finished object. This is my Musselburgh hat. It is currently in tube form, but I'll show you in hat form. But I wanted you to get to see the pretty yarn. So I made this in this yarn that I got at the Kentucky Wool Festival. It is from Hill Heritage Farm. I think that's like the farm, and then the yarn company, I guess, is called Shade Fiber Arts. This yarn didn't have like a colorway or anything, but I do know that it is superwash merino. And then the little neps are Donegal. I don't know how to say that. Donegal. That's the little bits of colors are. And it's got pink, blue, green, and yellow. I think they're so cute. I love the little bits. For the size, I made adult medium. I think that was like a pretty good size for my head. And then I did the 9 stitch per inch gauge, just so you like cast on and you knit a little bit, and then eventually you measure it, and mine was measuring at 9 stitches per inch, so that's what I did. And I think it actually is so nice. I love this hat. I heard a lot of people say that casting on was like a pain, so I was kind of nervous about that, but it was not as bad as I was expecting. Like, I think I had just like worked it up in my brain to be like crazy. It was not bad. It was like maybe kind of fiddly, but not worse than like if you have ever knit like a tiny little toy or like a little 3D object. It was not worse than that. Those are worse. In my opinion, of course. Once I got past like all the increases at the top, it was like so mindless and easy, and then you just knit all the way down, so you just make it like twice as long as you want to have the hat. There was a suggested length in the pattern. I just kind of did what I wanted. I like made it as long as I wanted the hat to be. I got pretty close to what the suggested length was, and then I did the decreases, and I have this much left over. this is what I have left. So just a tiny bit. I'll find something to use it for because it's really pretty. And then here's my hat. I'll show you. I'll put it on. So this is it without the brim folded. I haven't blocked it yet, so I expect it to get kind of longer, but I'll fold the brim. I just want it to be able to cover my ears. So here it is folded and on. I think it looks so cute. And then once I block it, I do think it's gonna stretch a little, but I really love the fabric. It feels like, so it's fingering weight wool, so it's pretty thin, but then when it's doubled up, it is like so cozy and squishy and like a lot thicker than I thought it would be. I'm very pleasantly surprised. I'll probably wear it like rolled down over my ears just because my ears get so cold. I made this mostly so I could wear it for car line duty at my school. So every day before school, I'm out in the parking lot with the kids while they get dropped off. And my school district doesn't have busing anymore, so all the kids come in their cars, so there's a lot of cars, and I'm out there the whole time, and that usually ends up being like not that bad, like 15-20 minutes, and then at the end of the day I get out there like I'm out there for about 30 minutes. It's really not terrible, but lately it has been so cold, and I had a hat, but it was acrylic and I lost it, so I'm really glad I just finished this in perfect time because tomorrow it is supposed to be, I think, like feels like negative something when I get to school in the morning. So not looking forward to that, but now I have my hat and it will keep me warm. Here's hoping. I wish you could like feel this through the screen because it's like perfectly comfortable and squishy. It's just like super cozy. I love this hat. And I really liked having this kind of project over Thanksgiving. I worked on it in the car on like while we were driving to both of our families' houses, and while we were watching football, while Robbie and my family was watching football, I was knitting. And then just like sitting around the house all over Thanksgiving break, that's pretty much when I worked on this, and I did it pretty quickly. I just really like this hat. I would definitely recommend this pattern. I know I'm like the billionth person to tell you that. Like if you're on knitting, like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, people make this all the time, and I'm so basic for it, but it's really nice. I would definitely suggest getting this hat pattern because you can use it for like any yarn you want. Like the next one I do, I'll probably use like a thicker yarn to have like a little bit of like a squishier hat. I think that'll be super nice. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you my whips, and I'm gonna start with another car line project I've made for myself. So when I'm at car duty, the parts of me that get the coldest are my face, my ears, and my hands and my feet. So I have like nice gloves. Now I have my hat, but I wasn't really sure what to do about my face because I could wear a ski mask, but I feel like that would look crazy. Like, good morning, children, welcome to school, and I'm wearing a ski mask. So I'm like trying to think about what I should do. So I got this like really cheap plain wool yarn at Michael's because I just needed it quickly like a week ago. And this is the only wool yarn that my Michael's had. I've been to a couple other Michael's like places that actually had more wool options. This is the only one that mine had. It is the Patton's Classic Wool Worsted. You've probably seen this before. And the color is like dark gray mix. And it feels fine. It's like a little bit scratchy, but I don't really care because I'm not gonna wrap it really tight around my neck. My neck isn't what's cold. I wanna like wrap it around like my face like this, because like that. Oh, I like how it looks with my eyes. But I think this will just keep my face warmer. And of course it's around my neck, but it doesn't really feel that itchy. Plus I'm gonna have like layers. Like I am bundled up out there, and my hair will cover my neck. But even with a touch of my neck, it's not that itchy. Anyway, I really like this color. There weren't a lot of color options. There was like a cream. Sorry, there's hair on me now. There was like black, cream, this one. There was like a heathery gray and white mix one. And then there was a red one. I really thought about the red one because I was like, ooh, it was like drawing me in. But I know myself, and I think I would be more likely to wear this every day than like a red one. So But I think a red one would be fun if I like already had this and I wanted to make a second one just to like switch out. I think then that'd be fun. But if I just need it for like utility, I made it in this gray. I'm not using a pattern. I'm just making like a garter stitch scarf. So I just cast on however many stitches. I wanted it to be like 20 centimeters wide. So like enough to like cover this whole area. And so I just made it 20 centimeters and then I just went. I really wanted the gray, but it only had 2 skeins. So I got both and I'm just like hoping that it's long enough when I finish the second skein. I'm like almost done and I think it will be fine. I think I would prefer it if I had 1 more skein. I don't want to order 1 more skein though. Like, you know, I just want to have the scarf done. So I might go ahead and just cast off when I finish the second one. And then if I want to make it longer at some point, I'll just pick up stitches and keep going. But I don't know. I think it'll just depend on like when I finish this. This is all I have left. When I finish this, I'll just see how I feel about the length. And if I really hate it, then I'll get a 3rd skein. I'm just really trying to avoid that because I just want to have the scarf. Especially, I could finish this today. And if I have to go to school tomorrow and like where it feels like -10, I want to have a scarf for my face. I have a scarf in my like basket of knitting stuff. It is acrylic and it's full of holes, so because it was one of the first things I knitted and it sucks, so I don't want to wear that. I'd much rather wear this gray one. It is much nicer. But I've been doing it a lot at like social activities. So like I went to a big crafting group meetup last week with like a big, like there's got to be like 50 people there. It was a big Cincinnati, the crafting thing, and everyone was doing needlepoint. It was so cool. But I was knitting with some of my friends, and I was just working on this, so I'm like not looking and I can talk. This is like one of the only things that I'd want to knit without looking. Besides like the Musselburgh hat, I was knitting without looking at that one too. But anything else, I want to look at it, so it makes it hard to chat. And I also took this, my friend Lauren had some of her friends over, and we all knitted at her apartment. Actually, it was like I was knitting, another girl was knitting, one was crocheting, and then my friend and her girlfriend, they were doing needlepoint, and it was like so cool to watch, but also they blew my mind with how expensive it is. Like, if any of you guys needlepoint, I need to know like what your thoughts are, because it looked so pretty. I want to do it, but then they told me how much it cost and I was like, maybe I'll stick with knitting. Like maybe I don't need another hobby, but it looked really pretty. I really liked what they're making. But one of them made like a skyline, like Skyline, the chili restaurant, like the Cincinnati chili logo. And then my friend Lauren, she made like a cute little like girl. She told me that it's like the needlepoint girl. I don't know anything about her. I thought she was so cute. She was just like this little girl in a dress. It was very cute. Here's my like really basic scarf. It is like nothing to write home about, but I'm excited to just have it and have it keep me warm. And then I've got this one. This is really cute. So like I said, I really liked the Maggie Cardigan pattern, but I didn't like my finished object because of the yarn I picked. So I got some different yarn to make it, and hopefully this time it turns out much better. It's already turning out so cute. So here's my beginning of the next Maggie Cardigan. I am making this with Kelborn Woolen Scout in the color Scarlet Heather, which I think is a discontinued color, which is really sad because I love this color. Like, look how cute this is. I think it would be so nice if I could wear it right now, but I waited a little too long to start it. I just really like this color. What I really like about this pattern, I like the fit. I love this like shoulder detail. I think it looks really nice and crisp. I like the sleeves, but this time I'm gonna make long sleeves. I think that would be just like a better choice for me, because even if I really liked this yellow yarn, I feel like it'd be hard for me to like wear a short sleeve cardigan. I think a long sleeve cardigan is just a lot easier because you can layer it over long or short sleeves. And I just think having the short sleeves is kind of limiting, but it is really cute. But I'm gonna do long sleeves on this red one. I'm like just about, I think I have like 2 more rows before I split for sleeves. So I've been kind of putting it off so I can do my scarf, just because I like really need to have it. It's getting cold. So I just needed to bust out that scarf. But once I finish that scarf today, I'm gonna get back into this and split for sleeves, and then I'll be able to just do the body until forever. It just take forever to do the body. I remember on the yellow one, it felt like the body took forever, but this yarn is thicker. I think it's like a DK weight. I feel like it's like a light DK. What people told me, I don't know. But, so it'll probably go a little bit faster. Is this color not just like the most pretty thing you've ever seen? I'm like obsessed with this color. And then this is where I get kind of basic. So I was influenced to make the sailor slippers. I thought about making a pair for my mom, but then I was like, I need to make myself a pair first and see if I like it or dislike it. I don't even know if the felting is going to work, and I didn't want to spend all this time making a present for my mom and then it not work, so I decided I got her something else. But I was like, let me try this, because I have all these like scraps from my Into the Wild sweater, which is my fox sweater. You can go back and look at it. It's so cute. But I had all these colors left, so I was trying to use them up. What I should have done is make like the white, leave the white, but do the brown for the stripes. I think I would like that better. I don't love the orange and white. And now I don't have enough brown to do the bottom of the other slipper, I don't think. So I'm gonna have to do brown stripes and an orange bottom on the other one. Whatever. I mostly just wanted to try it, and like everyone was doing it, so I got the pattern. And then like all the drama happened, so I'm just like, I don't know. I'm probably still gonna make the second one. I just have been really putting it off. I like made this whole slipper while I watched like 2 episodes of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. So like, it was pretty mindless. It was pretty easy. I would recommend this if you're like a beginner wanting to try something a little bit more adventurous with some shaping and things. Like, this was not too hard. It looks so comically large on my foot. Like, it is so funny. I haven't tried felting, obviously. I was gonna wait until I finish the second one. I'm not really sure how felting is gonna go with my washing machine. We will see. Because I'm gonna do it. Like, I'm not just gonna make one and then leave it forever. Also, I haven't technically finished it because I didn't do the I-cord for the edge. I don't know what color I want to do it in. I was just gonna see whatever yarn I have left when I'm done. But for I picked size 37 because I wear a 6.5 like US. So this is the size 37. But I didn't dislike it. We will see when I finish the next one. I like religiously wear slippers though in the house, so like I'll use it if I finish it. I will use it. I love slippers. We'll just see. I don't know. But I like see all these people with really cute color combinations that are making it, and I'm like, ooh, I want to do that. But then like the whole point of me making this was to use up scrap yarn, so I will not let myself buy more yarn for this. I'm not going to. Unless I finish this pair and I really like it, and then I want to make more, like for other people, then I'll do some cutesy colors. My last whip is this sad zog. So I love this pattern. This is the Autumn Leaves pattern from the Forever Autumn sock set by Stone Knits. It's so pretty. I love this pattern. It's got these cute little leaves, and I picked this gorgeous yarn for it. So the green is just like a basic, it is Knit Pick Stroll in Forest Heather. I just needed like a plain basic green, and then I found this really pretty orange variegated yarn. I don't remember what it is, but I got it from my local yarn store. And I was like, oh, this is gonna look so good. It does look so good from the front. From the side, it's got some problems, like giant gaping holes in it, because I tried to make it work on this needle, which is not super bendy and it's not super long. So I had a lot of trouble doing magic loop, and I'm pretty good at magic loop. Like that's the only way I make socks, and I do it a lot on other things. It just wasn't working for me, and so I need to try on a longer needle. I got a new one. I'll try soon. This one just made me sad, so I have put it away and like time out for a long time. And then also, I was doing really good on keeping the floats loose enough until the very last row. The only row that's too tight is the very last one, like right before I went to the heel. So I got kind of mad about that. It was like the one thing. So then I kept going because I was like, maybe it'll fix itself. I cannot. I've tried and tried to like yank it over my foot and I just can't. So it has to be unraveled, and I'm not gonna go back to just here and then finish like from where it was too tight. I'm just gonna take the whole thing apart because like I might as well make it good. There's lots of things on here that I would fix, like some just like where it got too loose or where I might have had like a issue and I didn't know how to fix it. I want to have this project, but now fall is over, so I'm not super motivated to finish it now, and I'm also mad at it. So I'll probably put this yarn away and come back to it like in the spring or summer and make this again, but better. But I also still want to work on like colorwork socks, so I think I'm gonna find like a different pattern and make something else. So I want to do it. It's just I'm mad at this. It's all my own fault. So I'm gonna pretty soon unravel it and tuck it away for later and try again. But at my local yarn store, we were like doing like a knit night, and one of my friends showed me that she was making colorwork. I don't remember if it was a hat or socks. It was something colorwork small, and she was doing it inside out. And I was like, ooh, I like that idea. So I think I'm gonna try that and see if that makes it better, because it is a mess in here. It is not good. And I don't really know what I was doing, or I didn't know what I was doing. I still don't. I'm not an expert. I just don't think I did the best job. And I think maybe trying it inside out and also trying on a longer cord would help. I don't know. This one makes me sad, but I will unravel soon and try again. That's all my projects. I was gonna talk really quick about like my future plans. I don't have anything really set in stone, but I have like some ideas in my brain that I want to do. I really want to make like a navy sweater. I think a plain navy sweater would be really cute. I got this pattern called like the Marius sweater. I'll put a picture that I was thinking about doing with this yarn that I got, but then I decided just to go ahead and redo the Maggie Cardigan because I really liked it. But I think the Marius sweater would be really nice in like a gray or a navy, or just like a plain sweater. I also wouldn't mind doing a raglan again. I liked making raglan sweaters. I've made a few, and I like how like easy it is to just so I might do one of those. And then I really wouldn't mind doing like I said, some different colorwork socks. Like I liked doing the colorwork. It was really fun, and I like the way colorwork socks look. I think they're really cute. But I would maybe just make something that's either for like the spring, summertime, that would like a design that would go more with that, or just like a year-round sock that's not like tied to a season. I don't want to make anything like too complicated or too funky, because like I still haven't successfully made a colorwork sock, but I have successfully made a colorwork sweater. The sock seems harder to me, I think, just because it's so small and tight and like it just has to fit. And a sweater, you know, it can be pretty big, and you can not worry too much about how tight the floats are. I don't know, but that's like my basic plans. I don't have anything crazy on the docket. If you're working on something, please let me know what it is in the comments. I always love to hear what you guys are working on. If you have any thoughts about something I talked about today, please let me know. If you're looking for more frequent updates, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. They're both linked below. My Instagram is Rachel Makes Things 4, and my TikTok is Fragrance Rachel, because I also talk about perfume over there. You can see it behind me, my two fixations. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.